EA Sports. It's in the game.
I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada for tonight's main event. 12 rounds, middleweights going at it between Carlos Monzon and the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler. Carlos Monzon's ring walk, something special in the air. You can just sense it out of him. Marvin Hagler's ring walks have become the stuff of legend, and you can see the intensity on his face.
Fighting out of the blue corner, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carlos Monzon and his opponent across the ring. Fighting out of the blue corner, marvelous Marvin Hagler.
All right, fellas, let's have a quick ring fight. Touch him up, let's go.
Everybody's been waiting for these two to meet up. Now they do, as round one is underway.
Teddy, most of the fighters that you train throughout your career are guys that could be described as this, guys that really will bring it and are able to do it throughout the whole fight and go the distance. What's the mental makeup of a guy like that?
Confidence. He's been there before. He's sure that he can do it.
Blocks that belt line well. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counter punch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
Good job protecting himself. Very clean offense from defense by Hagler.
Keep it going.
A good block. Fine fundamentals, good counter punch. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Back in September of 1980, Marvin Hagler finally was able to nail down the crowns that had eluded him earlier when he won the middleweight title by defeating Alan Minter. And as many times has been the case with Marvin Hagler, he had to go on the road to do it. Now that fight was stopped from a cut eye. And the fans there, Minter's fans back in the UK, they didn't take a liking to it. Hagler couldn't even celebrate winning the world title.
No, actually, his people and other people in the ring had to cover him from the barrage of bottles that were being thrown into the ring. You know, he had to fight his way out of the ring as well as he had to fight his way into the ring.
protecting his head well with his guard.
Side to side, move your head.
He took a shot, but he gives one of his own. A left hand scores.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving around the ring.
Nice strike after catching one by Carlos Monzon.
Don't stay at one spot.
10 seconds remaining in this round. So it's the end of the round. And as both men head back to their respective corners, Teddy, it brings up a good point that's many times not talked enough, but the culture of a corner and how guys conduct themselves. What was always your philosophy in organizing and running a corner?
Well, first of all, only one guy could be in charge. That's the trainer. You can't have too many cooks in the kitchen. It has to be organized like anything else. And you have to have calm people. You only have 1 minute. Maybe by the time the fighter gets back, maybe it's 50 seconds. So you have to be efficient. You can't have guys that are excited. They have to be able to control their emotions, just like the fighter does on the outside. And everyone has to know what their job is.
Blocks that belt line well. Monzon's legs look shaky. He was hurt.
All right, come on now. Come on, work it out. Work it out. See some punches here.
Oh, what a great ability to recover. What do you make of the fact that Marvin Hagler never went after what would have been a huge, I mean huge jackpot of a rematch with Sugar Ray Leonard when he was so disgusted with the way the judges went after that first fight?
I think it speaks of the makeup of the man. You know, he might not have been as fast as some fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard. He may not have been, you know, as pure in one area of power and talent as a Tommy Hearns, or of course that great kind of size that he had. But what really made him was he was a proud guy. He was a guy who really was just reliable all the time. And he felt completely betrayed by the system. And a guy that's proud like that, a guy that's his strength, is that kind of character, that's a guy that just walks away from that. And I think he showed you that.
Frustrating his opponent with great defense. Parries that punch away. His opponent wanted the body. He wouldn't give it to him. Way to block there. Oh, Carlos Monzon stunned, and he is hurt. And he just holds on there.
Hey, no holding, no holding. Come on, punch it out.
There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing is taking his opponent's jab away.
And that round is in the books, and that one should go into the record books. It's been all action all night, but that chapter in the book was something special.
Oh, it was, Joe. You know, sometimes you go to a party, you don't know what to expect. You wind up getting guys that like to talk. They come right in, they introduce themselves. Well, here, you get guys that like to fight.
Circling, keep circling, don't stand in front of him. You have to double the jab already. Look, he's timing you. Every time you come in, I want to see that double jab.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nostradamus to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
Parries that punch intended for the head. Carlos Monzon's box is not going to the body at all. He'd be so well served to do it, though, Teddy.
Yeah, but his opponent doesn't want him to. So, you know, he doesn't want to go against what his opponent doesn't want him to do, because his opponent would love to keep throwing to the head because, you know, he can see those coming. He can move and avoid the body shots. You know, your head moves, but your body doesn't.
Good block there by Hagler. Teddy, do you think the sport needs a national or international governing body?
Yeah, it's the only major sport, at least it used to be a major sport, that doesn't have that. And there's no unilateral control. And when there's no unilateral control across the board, well, you have too many spots that are weak for the sport, spots that do not serve the sport.
There's a taste of the sweet science. You see the skill he has in counterpunching.
And you know what he's doing is taking his opponent's jab away.
Oh, and he returns fire with a left hand. Hagler able to block that punch. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Lands the counter. Gets rid of that effort. Good looking right hand after he got hit. Last 10 seconds of round number 3. Marvin Hagler, of course, associated with Brockton, Massachusetts, but he was originally from Newark, New Jersey's Central Ward. He was raised by a single mom there. And he was still there in 1967 when there were the Newark riots.
Yeah, you never know how that kind of experience, those kind of things in your life affect you for later on. Readies you for something that you never knew you were going to have to be ready for. In this case, a boxing career.
Speed. Double up on your punches. I want to see those combos. Combos. We'll take care of the swelling. Just...
Here we go with the 4th round. Able to cover up that gut. Blocks that belt line well. They trade shots. He comes back with a right hand. Good job staying away from the danger there. Pulls the trigger right away with the left hand after getting tagged himself. Takes one, but gives one. Good work by marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Able to dismiss that body shot. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Carlos Monzon. And coming upon the halfway mark of this 3-minute round. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. Blocks it away. Oh, look at that. They exchange hooks. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Very clever move there. A little defense turns to offense. The counter punch by Hagler. A good block. 10 seconds to go in this round. And this round comes to an end. It is a round that was highly entertaining. These guys really put forth quite an effort.
Well, they both have high engines. They have motors that never stop going.
Okay, listen. When he misses you with a punch, counter. You just focus on the fight. We'll take care of the swelling. Get on that. Get on that.
They start up again. Back to action here with another round. But who knows how much longer it'll last. This has been a completely one-sided fight. A good block by Marvin Hagler. Nice strike after catching one by marvelous Marvin Hagler. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. Keeping his hands up, getting way of his opponent's effort. Carlos Monzon's movement helped out there. He avoided that punch. Teddy, you know what I'm so impressed by? Obviously, the pace of this fight is just ridiculous. But how hungry these guys are. How badly each guy wants it.
Joe, this is the kind of fight that it has nothing to do about money.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Carlos Monzon stunned and staggered. And now you're seeing the beard that this guy possesses, because he went from stunned and damaged to staying right upright.
Oh, this is like Santa Claus's beard. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I don't know if he's hip to the idea of becoming a counterpuncher, but I get the sense you'd agree with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got the perfect platform, the perfect form for it. The guy's walking in right now, not moving his head much. He can time him, he can counter him.
Now that's some fine work right there by Hagler.
Work the body, kid. Keep moving.
Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. What a great job. He gave one right back in return. Nice work by marvelous Marvin Hagler. Able to get rid of that one. Nice block. Ten clicks of the talk. Oh, very nice. Smart counterpunch there.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You make the guy miss, you make him pay.
And as this round comes to an end, Teddy, you just get the sense that at any point this fight could come to an end because it is being fought with bad intentions.
Yes, these guys are not behaving like guys that are coming here thinking about going to the scorecards. They're letting everything go in every punch.
You need to capitalize on his mistake, okay? I want to see that counter hook. Make him pay for the mistakes. Okay, listen. Body and hand, body and hand. Double up on your punches.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
Able to dismiss it. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Carlos Monzon. Oh, he took some damage, but he gave some back with the right hand. Gets rid of that effort. There's the headshot, but he parries it away.
Let's see some more head movement. Let's see some more head movement. Get out of the way.
Reaching the halfway point of round number 6. See, he's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Good block. Well-placed counterpunch by Hagler. Hagler's strategy coming in was to land a lot of jabs. Teddy, you got to grade him out with an A here.
Maybe even an A+, Joe. That plus is the right hand. Once the jab has been there, bang, the right hand came just when it was supposed to. Give him an A+.
Protecting his head well with his guard. And a well-placed counter by Hagler. Final 10 seconds of the 6th round.
Nice work. Listen, I want you to go downstairs, then upstairs, okay? Body, then head. Let's finish this. Get the conference. Listen, you need to move your head from side to side, okay? I want to see that head move more. Let's get on that floor. Get the compress on it.
So with the start of this round, we've reached the halfway point. Be interesting to see what we're in store for down the stretch of this fight. Able to show you his blocking ability. time, landing the counter punch. He's showing very good footwork. He's showing fine defensive movement here. But as for the opponent, how do you solve that?
Well, you got to make believe you're a football player. You got to make believe you're a linebacker in football. You go down the line with that running back. You don't go following around the place. You make sure you move laterally. That's exactly what he's got to do. He's got to cut that ring down, take space away.
Right on the mark, both guys with the hook. He took a shot, but he came back with a right hand of his own. I don't think that blood's going to be a big deal in terms of his vision. It's on the cheek. He just doesn't want any cut to worsen. Halfway through what is one of the best rounds you'll ever see. Just great action.
No, it's unbelievable. I mean, if you love roller coasters, you go to an amusement park. If you want to see left hooks, right hands, every direction, great chins, great endurance, great heart, you come to this fight. You stay right here.
But he also gave one. Solid effort by marvelous Marvin Hagler. Good defensive skills. One hook deserves another. Wow. 10 seconds to go in the 7th. What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
You gotta give me the double jab. You're not giving me the double jab. You're only giving me one jab at a time. The compress on that. Let's work on the swelling. If we work on the swelling.
The action starts up again, but it's only favored one man. Hard to see this fight going the distance based on what we've witnessed so far. Parries that punch away. Good block there by Hagler. Takes one, but gives one. Good work by marvelous Marvin Hagler. Good defense upstairs to stay away from that offensive assault. Protecting his head well with his guard. Dismisses his opponent's headshot. The halfway point of round number 8. A good block by Marvin Hagler. parries that punch intended for the head. Carlos Monzon's cheek is cut, and you can see it's opening up now. Boy, that could be a factor later on. Wow, just sit back and enjoy this one. You can tell both guys are so determined to give everything they have here tonight.
So it's like the first time you heard Ray Charles sing God Bless America. You knew it was special. You knew you hadn't heard it before. I haven't seen anything like this before.
Keeping his hands up, getting way of his opponent's effort.
Keep on. Okay, listen. I need you to throw 3 punches. Combinations. Listen, your best defense is to throw more punches. You need to throw more punches. That will keep him away. Okay, you're doing good.
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man. Completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been.
Side to side, move your head.
On the mark, the counter punch by Hagler. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by Carlos Monzon. Good clean shot, returning fire. Well done by marvelous Marvin Hagler. Hagler able to block that punch. A little give and take, and here comes the left hand. That straight right, unable to connect. Able to block that away. It was targeted for his head. And you see he turned defense into offense, comes back with the counterpunch.
And that's exactly what he brings to the game. He makes you miss, he makes you pay. And he makes you think twice about throwing a punch later on.
I think it has come to that point. He's behind on the cards. He's just got to be. Going to take a knockout to win this?
Yeah, I think so. And it's going to take a certain kind of attitude or strategy, a change in strategy. You go into the fights, you don't look for a knockout. You're looking to use your jab, you're looking to set up punches, you're looking to go rounds. Right now, he's got to find a way to get a knockout. Look for one punch. One big punch right now.
Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
He got hit right there, but he also gave one. Solid effort by Carlos Monzon. Last 10 seconds of the 9th round. He's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Coming to the end of this round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, a round like that where it's a lot of busy activity and both guys being busy, when you were a trainer, are those the kind of rounds that you prefer, or do you like the pace to be a little slower? Does it depend on each guy?
No, if I have a fight, I'd rather have a guy fighting a guy that you never see him. Leave me the heck alone. And where I'm in control all the time. But the fans love to see a fight like that.
We'll take care of the cut. It's nothing. A small cut, nothing to worry about. Listen, I'm not going to stand here and watch you take those shots, you understand me?
They start up again. Back to action here with another round. But who knows how much longer it'll last. This has been a completely one-sided fight. Oh, he just misses with that headshot. Good defense, just covering up down low. Carlos Monzon's making for a very inviting target right now. That cut is much worse than it was just moments ago.
What he has to do is he's got to be elusive right now. He's got to get on his horse a little bit and give those medicines that will put into the cut a chance to work a little bit. But also, he's got to slow his opponent down. Catch him with something so he doesn't keep going after that eye.
Comes right back at him with a left hand. Blocks that punch. That's great stuff. He fires one right back after taking one. Gotta love the work by marvelous Marvin Hagler. Blocks the headshot. Showing you some defense there with the block. Nice block by Hagler. Devastating blow by Hagler. Hagler's doing exactly what we expected him to do. He laid out the game plan. I want to win it on the outside. The jab's been there all night.
Yeah, well, that's where it starts if you want to win it on the outside. You know, you're not going to do it with your feet. This is not kickboxing. Either you're going to do it with your jab, and that's exactly, it's boxing 101. Control range, control distance, control the jab.
Clean shot, returning fire. Well done by Carlos Monzon. Hagler blocks it.
Let's see some more headroom. Let's see some more headroom. Get out of the way.
Hagler. There it is. Carlos Monzon's legs look shaky. He was hurt. Well, as that round comes to an end, it gives us a moment to kind of reflect on this overall fight. And Teddy, my thoughts are pretty clear-cut. This is the kind of fight that just takes on a personality of its own. This is an all-out war.
Yeah, this is kind of like watching a guy who's not on a budget. You know, he's spending with both hands. You know, when he goes home, he's going to have no money in his pockets. And when this fight is over, these guys are going to have nothing left in the gas tank, and it's probably not going to a decision.
Get on that.
Back to action now. We're underway in what has been a completely one-sided fight. You get the sense this one may not go the distance. Tucks those elbows in, blocks the body shot. Able to cover up that gut. Carlos Monzon's just a completely different fighter now. I mean, he was stunned earlier in this fight, and since then, there's just more of a defensive disposition to him.
Yeah, and the important thing right now is that sooner or later, and I think it's going to be sooner, his opponent's going to see the same thing, and he's not going to stay away. He's going to get more aggressive.
Good work with the uppercuts. Nice job there. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. Able to show you his blocking ability. Oh, Teddy, worst case scenario, a cut has now opened up above his eye.
Yeah, and the bleeding, of course, the worst case scenario for a reason, as you said, Joe, because the blood can run into the eye, impair the vision.
This is great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Bringing it every which way they are.
So you remember the time you were on vacation, you saw that perfect sunset?
Oh, yeah.
It was just beautiful. This is beautiful.
Fine fundamentals, good counterpunch. 1 minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Carlos Monzon's coming up with the answers, avoiding that punch. Able to dismiss it. Nice block that time. It was intended to the head. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. End of this round. Joe and Teddy sitting ringside with you. It gives us time to reflect on the bigger picture of boxing. You know, it was interesting. We had a fan walk up to you earlier today and say, hey, I know you learned everything from the legendary Cus D'Amato, the great trainer. And he said to you, what's the one thing you took away from all your years with Cus? What did you say to him?
Well, it wasn't a paycheck, I'll tell you that much, because Cus didn't believe in paying you for that. He said you're going to college, you're getting a valuable education, and you're not even being forced to pay a tuition. So I understood that. We worked 7 days a week, so there was no union. Cus believed in working on Sundays, so you couldn't go complain and say I'm being overworked. But I think seriously that the most important thing that I learned, of course, that from a technical standpoint, you have to be really secure in those areas. No matter how much talent a fighter has, you have to teach them right, teach them the fundamentals, but mentally. You have to understand that a fighter's really always under fear. And you have to understand those dimensions, those parameters. And you have to be able to find a way to get in there, understanding how he feels mentally, and understanding how that can impair his judgment. Stop him.
He's in a world of hurt right now, Teddy. Look at him right there. What is he going to do? How's he going to survive this?
Well, the only thing he can do now is kill some time, kill some clock, take the air out of the ball. He's got to grab.
Throws a counter punch there. He was damaged moments ago, but now he's got his feet back underneath him. Boy, he's frustrating his opponent here. He's hurt, he's damaged, and he's got him just chasing him around the ring.
And maybe might get an opportunity, believe it or not, as hurt as he's been, to maybe catch his opponent getting a little reckless, walking in.
There's the headshot, but he parries it away. Covers up nicely, gets rid of his opponent's body shot. Well, this isn't a bad form of defense. You know who did it to you, so stay away from him, right?
Exactly. Keep range a little bit. Now,
wow! Carlo, a wicked left hand floors him. Some way he's going to continue on here.
And if he's going to stay in this fight, now he's got to avoid this opponent like the Black Plague.
Move your head. Don't stay in one spot circle.
What a fight. What a great, great, non-stop action fight this has been. There it is! Carlos Monzon stunned and staggered. And he goes down for a second time. Does he have enough this time to rise up and continue on?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So he is able to get up to his feet after that knockdown. But Teddy, it's what's ahead that's the problem.
Yeah, we're getting a peek right now into his heart, into his soul.
All the rounds in the books for the official decision. Let's send it up to the ring.
Tonight, the judges have reached a unanimous decision. Your winner, Marvin
Marvin Hagler is your winner by unanimous decision tonight.
I'm not so sure it was unanimous. I had it a little bit close. I had a split decision, but had the same man winning.
All three judges in agreement here ringside. For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. That does it ringside. We'll see you next time at the fights. Good evening, I'm Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the MGM Grand here on the Vegas Strip in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, for tonight's main event. 12 rounds of heavyweight action between Tommy Morrison and Iron Mike Tyson. He's making that final walk that separates man and warrior, soon to be embattled there in the ring. Mike Tyson's unpredictability belies his ring walk focus. He is ready for action.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Tommy the Dude Morrison. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Iron Mike Tyson.
All right, remember one thing. Obey my commands at all times.
Round number one is now underway. All the talk is done. It is simply time to fight.
During your training,
Oh, that's gotta hurt. Right hand crashes home. He never saw it coming.
All right,
he
punch
should
it out.
tie up. A good block by Mike Tyson. Here's one for you now, he says. Right back with the left hand. One hook deserves another. Wow. He just missed that shot up top. Able to dismiss that body shot. Both men digging in with uppercuts. Very nice work from both men. They each got a shot in. Very clean offense from defense by Tyson. No feeling out round here at all. These two are slugging it in round number 1.
Reminds me of the fireworks display on the 4th of July, and the rockets just keep coming.
Not what he was looking for. That's a miss right there by Tyson. Blocks that punch. Good job protecting himself. Nice block by Tyson. Wow, is he defensively sound. Tommy Morrison's gotta be feeling the impact of that uppercut. You can see he's trying to score up top, but off the mark there. Mike Tyson blocking that punch. Final 10 seconds of round number 1. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot, and then comes back with an uppercut. Oh! Tommy Morrison stunned and staggered. And there's the bell. He is saved by the bell. Oh, boy, Teddy, he's in a world of hurt now, only 60 seconds in front of him.
And you know what? Less than 60 seconds. It took him 5 seconds to get him on that stool. So right now, they can't concentrate just on telling him things, and he needs to be told why he got hit. But they got to get ice on him, and they got to, right now, they have to revive him.
Don't waste your time. But I want you to keep those hands moving.
So here we are, a new round underway, and in that last round, he got tagged. He got hit pretty hard, Teddy.
Yeah, he did. He got caught. Now, the first thing is, we all know he got caught, but why did he get caught? He has to be able to decipher that in his head. He has to be able to have the answer to that so it doesn't happen again.
Great movement to get away from those punches. Oh, good exchange there. He missed with that headshot. Parries that punch away. Well, nowadays we have so many different weight classes. Used to be only 8 weight classes. Now with all the super and juniors attached to every weight class, you can go up and down the scale with ease throughout your career. Is that good for the game?
No, I don't really think it is, because you're making it too easy for the fighters. You know, I'm not saying that it's not good that they have an alternate to a weight class, but a lot of times when you make things easy, they're going to go for the path that is easier. In other words, somebody should be a middleweight. Now all of a sudden they're going to be a light heavyweight. They're going to be a super middleweight, where with a little discipline, they would have fit into that middleweight frame. It wasn't that they couldn't make it. Now you make it so easy, they don't want to make it.
Halfway through this round. Good exchange. He fires back. Able to dismiss his opponent's shot, and then comes back with an uppercut. Well, we just learned something here, Teddy, in this fight. He landed a beautiful counterpunch, and if that continues tonight, this fight's going to be in his favor.
Yeah, this fight might be over, because when you land counterpunches, usually you're landing clean shots, and sooner or later, shots that your opponent doesn't see. And those are the shots that say, good night.
He took a shot, but he came back with a right hand of his own. Targeting the hooks on each man. Oh, he just misses with that headshot. Gets rid of that. It was intended for his head. Blocks that belt line well. Just 10 seconds to go in this round. Tommy Morrison's got to deal with a cut on his cheek right now. The good news is it's below the eye, but still it could get nasty as the fight progresses.
Keep it up. Keep those hands moving. Let's work on that swelling. Listen, you need to move your head from side to side, okay? I want to see that head move more. Let's get on that swelling. Get on the swelling.
And round number 3 is underway. Must be the punch of the day. Both guys bringing home uppercuts. Teddy, he just took a serious series of punches. What does he need to do?
Well, moving his head wouldn't hurt.
Come on now. Come on.
And
Work it
just
out. Work
as
it out.
we
See some punches
anticipated,
here.
toe-to-toe right from the start.
No introductions necessary.
Go ahead. Keep working the body.
Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one.
Get in there. Let's go.
Thought he had his target, but way off to the side with the uppercut. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. That punch nowhere close. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Mike Tyson, the youngest heavyweight champions ever, claiming all 3 belts, unifying the titles, then of course making a ragdoll out of Michael Spinks. How important is that to his legacy?
Everything. I mean, he came up with the man, his mentor, Cusamato, who had the prior youngest heavyweight champ of all time. That was Floyd Patterson. He wanted to break that record. He planned on, he lived to break that record.
Protecting his head well with his guard. Mike Tyson's on the wrong end of a destructive uppercut.
Use your feet.
Of the round here, a round that saw a lot of action, the kind of round that fans pay to be here to see.
Well, these are TV-friendly fighters, and we figured that coming in.
All right, listen. You need to create more punches, okay? Slip his punch and throw. Jump right down the middle. Throw the body, then to the head, then finish to the body.
Back to fight action as a new round is underway. Of course, in that last round, it was fairly one-sided. He was hit pretty hard, and now he has to overcome that here.
Yeah, you don't have to be Notre Dame to know that. I mean, everybody saw, you know, he got staggered, his knees buckled, did a little dance there. But what you have to really know now is know why you got hit and correct that immediately.
Able to dismiss that body shot. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Mike Tyson.
Finish with the hook. Move your feet.
Well-targeted counterpunch by Tyson. Teddy, I think he really concentrated a lot during camp on working on the jab. I mean, just look at the punch stats here, Teddy. Just look at what he's been able to do.
Well, I'm sure he has, and as you said, it's shown. And you know, when I'm in a corner, when I'm training a fighter in training camp, you just touched on it. You know what I do, Joe?
What's that?
I make sure that when I'm putting the gloves on my fighter, I put the left hand on first. That's to remind them, this is the boss, this is the stick, this is what's going to bring you to victory. This is what you're going to use 80% of the time tonight.
Well, he missed that right. Throws a counter punch there. What was the thing when you developed Mike Tyson, Teddy, that he grasped instantly?
Well, what he understood right away was that his power not only could get rid of guys, but could intimidate guys. And the thought of his power could intimidate guys, where he could use that, where he could make guys a little fractured before he ever touched them.
Able to get rid of that one. On the mark, the counter punch by Tyson. What a chin. Can you believe the shots this guy's absorbing?
And more importantly, can his opponent believe it? You know what? You want to hit a guy, so you figure that that's a good thing, that's an encouraging thing. This is a case where his opponent might get discouraged just by seeing his guy take those kind of shots.
And this round comes to an end. A round that was highly entertaining. They put forth a non-stop effort.
Well, that's the styles that they figured to bring to this fight. Both guys with good motors.
Jab, jab, jab. And you'll beat him to the punch.
The action starts up again, but it's only favored one man. Hard to see this fight going the distance based on what we've witnessed so far. Mike Tyson blocking that punch. There's the headshot, but he parries it away. Good looking right hand after he got hit. Perfect example of what you get when warriors decide to act like warriors. These two have acted that way all night long.
They've acted that way, and they behaved that way, and they have been that way all their lives.
Teddy, this is one of those moments where you just wish you could pick up the phone and call up the world and say, tune in. Everybody should be watching this, right?
I have a cell phone. I might do that right now.
Start dialing. Very well done by both men to fire off those right hands.
Work the body. Work the body, kid.
And a smart counterpunch by Tyson.
Teddy, I know he's up on the scorecards here. He's got to be up on the scorecards, but he is getting really pushed here.
Yeah, he is, you know.
There it is! Tommy Morrison's down from a huge punch. That landed clean. And somehow, some way, he's going to continue on here.
And if he's going to stay in this fight, now he's got to avoid his opponent like the Black Plague.
Keeping his hands up, getting way of his opponent's effort. Oh! Mike Tyson's banged by a right hand. Hitting his mark there going upstairs. It is unbelievable to sit back and just watch what these guys are willing to give and to take. Wow, what a fight so far.
Well, give and take, that's the key word. Sometimes you're forced to become great. And right now, each one of them are forcing the other to go to great places.
To another very entertaining round in what has been a very entertaining fight. A fight where there's just bad intentions. The fight that just doesn't have the feel of a fight that's going to be a decision win for somebody. Looks like somebody's going to get stopped.
Right from the beginning, they've been fighting with desperation. Like going the decision, as you just touched on, has not been in their minds at all.
Stop yourself. You'll win this one.
So here we are, all wondering, can he survive the start of this round after the way we saw him go down in that last round?
Well, it's up to his opponent. Now, his opponent gets a little careless and he rushes in a little bit too close. He could get a chance to grab those hands and tie him up. And then he could kill a little of the clock, survive.
Good block. Tommy Morrison's trying to steady himself in this round after being knocked down in the previous round. Teddy, how much can really happen in those 60 seconds? How much of a benefit is it to a damaged fighter?
Well, a lot has to happen. First of all, physically, you have to revigorate the guy. You know, maybe massage the legs a little bit. Most importantly, get some ice on the back of his neck. You know, get that blood flow going a little bit. Make sure that you revive him a little bit. Get him back to feeling like he's ready to go out there.
Keep your hands up. One.
Nice block by Tyson. Morrison's got to deal with a cut around his eye. Now, it looks like it's below his eye, so we'll see what kind of effect it has. Good, clean shot, returning fire. Well done by Mike Tyson. Nice block by Tyson. Halfway through round 6. Covers up nicely and gets rid of his opponent's body shot.
Double up your punch.
That's a tried and true method that works out very well. The counterpunch landing by Tyson. Every gym's got one of those double-ended bags, right? They give you the movement. You got to hit that moving target, work on your accuracy. He's making it so that his opponent never had to work on one, Teddy. He's just sitting right there, right in front. No head movement whatsoever.
No, not at all. He didn't have one in his gym, that's for sure, because he just does not know how to move his head. The old timers would say he gets insulted if you miss him.
would you recommend based on what we're seeing here tonight?
Well, 2 aspirin and then go, oh no, actually I would say a little counterpunching would be just what the doctor ordered.
That's a better prescription for him. Tried to land that upstairs and was off the mark.
Get the conference on. Certainly don't stand in front of it. Get the compress on. Get the compress on that. Let's work on the swelling. Work on the swelling.
Rounds in the books, 6 to go. Wow, is he defensively sound. Well, he took one right there, but then he targeted one right back. Intended for his head. Oh! Mike Tyson's almost out of it there. He was stunned. I don't know what was said to him in the corner, but now he's the busier man.
And he needs to be before any more time goes by.
This is great stuff. I mean, great stuff. Bringing it every which way they are.
So you remember the time you were on a vacation, you saw that perfect sunset?
Oh, yeah.
It was just beautiful. This is beautiful.
To go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. Mike Tyson's cheek is cut, and you can see it's opening up now. Boy, that could be a factor later on. That's a good block by Tyson. He got hit, but he sends it right back. Tyson with a block punch. Well-targeted counter punch by Tyson. This has been a very entertaining fight. A little time to reflect here at the end of this round. My thoughts being this: I would really be surprised if we go to a decision here. It just has that kind of feel to it.
Yeah, it has a feel to me like going to one of those places where you can eat all the pasta you can for one price, you know? And some guys get carried away. They eat about 5 bowls. Well, these guys, they're going to have a stomachache at the end. Somebody is going to wind up not standing at the end.
Don't worry about it. Get in your rhythm, okay? I want to see more jabs. I want to see more jabs.
As another round gets underway, it gets us thinking, how much more of this will we see? Hard to envision this fight going the distance with how lopsided it's been.
Mike Tyson's making me real curious here, Teddy. I wonder, should he be sticking with this style after being rocked in this fight?
It's still early enough. I would say yes. You know, you don't want to panic. You don't want to just throw everything overboard. You want to stay with what brought you here. Hey, he's been taught this not for hours, not for days, not for weeks. You know, months and years he's been taught this. You don't throw it out. You stay with it.
Parries that punch intended for the head. A nice block by Tyson. He's got his guard up really well that time, and it protects his head. Oh! Tommy Morrison's in a bad spot right now. He's been stunned. That's just like a little love shove right there. Just a little love shove to give yourself some room. Good-looking counter punch. Good stuff in the opening 2 minutes. A minute to go in this round. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Off to the side. A little swing and a miss going upstairs. Tyson blocking that punch. Nice block by Tyson.
In and out, in and out, in and out. Let's move.
Both men accurate with their hooks against each other. Coming to the end of this round. Joe and Teddy with you ringside. Teddy, a round like that where it's a lot of busy activity and both guys being busy. When you were a trainer, are those the kind of rounds that you prefer, or do you like the pace to be a little slower? It does depend on each guy.
No, if I have a fight, I'd rather have a guy fighting a guy that you never see him. Leave me the heck alone. And where I'm in control all the time. But the fans love to see a fight like that.
That body. You need to move that body more. Let's get on that stuff. Get the complex on that.
They are back to action here, but that action has only favored one man. Completely one-sided. Hard to see the scorecards coming into play here with how dominating he's been.
Morrison's just not showing me enough offense right now. I mean, I understand he did get hurt earlier.
Yeah, he did.
But he still has to put something forth.
Yeah, he does. It's kind of like that kid who gets his hand caught in a cookie jar. You know, you're not going to give up eating cookies. You still have a sweet tooth. You want to still go back and get that snack. You better find another way. He needs to find another way.
Keeping his hands up, getting way of his opponent's effort. Very nice work from both men. They each got a shot in.
Well, you could see what he wanted to do there, but unable to land that body shot.
Good defensive skill. those elbows in, blocks the body shot. Well-placed counter punch by Tyson. Fine fundamentals, good counter punch.
Nice mousetrap there. He let him in beautifully. He didn't use cheese, he used distance.
Tommy Morrison's clearly made a decision. He's not going to stick with what he was doing. You know, a lot of people would say, yeah, absolutely, change things up. You got rocked.
Yeah, if you're a pitcher, you know, and the guy's hitting your fastball out of the park or coming close or hitting it on the warning track, you don't wait until it goes out of the park. You change to a curveball. Well, he's changing right now.
And now he's acting like a fighter, coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. Parries that punch intended for the head. Oh, Tommy Morrison. Well, we know he survived earlier, but now he goes down for a second time. From a big shot, now he's got to have some big guts to move along.
You're going to find out exactly what he's made of.
And that's some fine work right there by Tyson. Wow, saved by the bell. That's like something out of a movie here.
Yeah, except nobody's coming in there and saying cut. You know, he has to keep going here. Right now, the only thing he knows is he's got flashballs going off in his head.
Relax, relax. Take deep breaths. You're doing fine. Let's get on that swelling. Compress on that.
He's got to find a way to get through the early goings here of this round. Remember last round, he went down. He was on the canvas.
Now, look, he wants to tie his opponent up. That's the best way to get through it right now. But what he doesn't want to do, Joe, is to reach in there, you know, reach out to grab his guy, and then he leaves himself open. He's got to make sure that his opponent's close enough where he goes to grab him, he's not exposing himself to get dropped again.
Blocks the head. Oh! Tommy Morrison stunned and he is hurt. That's just like a little love shove right there. Just a little love shove to give yourself some room. Wow! Tommy Morrison's hurt by that. He goes down. Mike Tyson's gonna be partying tonight. A knockout victory. It doesn't get better than that.
Your winner,
Mike Tyson's your winner by knockout.
Everybody but his opponent is happy now. That was an entertaining fight.
For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore. That does it ringside. We'll see you soon.
Heavy beef in the street, E.T. had to flee. Great heavens, good grief. Hungry bellies, bright gold on their teeth. The windows on the Ave look like sad eyes. The fixed sharp gaze